What is up, you guys? It is Jazz. Welcome to all my new faces, and if you are returning, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all my top 4 apps that I use throughout my nursing school journey. As we all know, there are hundreds and thousands of apps out there to help with our learning and along our nursing school journeys, but these are the 4 in particular that I really relied on the most heavily throughout my time in school. In today's video, I will be sharing 2 studying apps, 1 note-taking app, and 1 resource app. So I've kind of got all the bases covered in terms of what the apps are actually used for, like their functionality. My goal for today's video is that you walk away having at least 1 new piece of information that will be helpful to you on your personal learning journey. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Okay. App number 1 on our list of 4 apps is one that we probably all know, all have heard of, and probably have all used at least once, and that is our good old Quizlet. Now, sometimes you just need to make some good old digital flashcards. I feel like Quizlet is the perfect app for that. I've only ever used the basic Quizlet, and I feel like it does what it needs to do for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really are into doing flashcards, then maybe you could think about upgrading to the premium, but I feel like the basic Quizlet serves a good enough purpose on its own. Now, I'm sure we've all probably created some flashcards on Quizlet before, but one thing that I actually like using Quizlet for that is not really like its original intended use is to help find practice questions. So, right, Quizlet is this huge app that so many people use, and you can make public cards or you can make public flashcard sets. And so you can go onto Quizlet and you can search by, for example, like a textbook of your class. Like, for example, you could go into Quizlet and type in Lewis MedSurg Chapter 42 practice questions. And more often than not, you'll be able to find practice questions directly related to like what you're looking for if you just search in Quizlet. So that's one reason I did want to still include Quizlet on this list, is to kind of mention that it can be helpful in finding practice questions for your different classes. All right, now moving on to app number 2. The second app on my list I'm really excited to share with you because I feel like this is not as widely known an app. Throughout my whole time in nursing school, I have actually never heard anyone that I personally know mention this app as something that they use for their studying, and I haven't really heard about it much through social media or other places where you would hear about nursing resources from people. So this app is called PICMONIC. So PICMONIC is a combination of the words picture and mnemonics. So as you can probably guess, this is a resource app that uses mnemonics to help you study. Basically, this app is just a collection of concise, couple-minute long videos that each focus on a specific topic and tell basically a story to help you memorize different things. Each PICMONIC is filled with great graphics that really make it very visually appealing to actually study from. And one thing that I like is that all throughout the different PICMONICs, there are repeating characters. So for example, when they talk about like different symptoms, each symptom is going to be like a character. So I can remember like for fever, it would always be the fever beaver. So anytime fever came up in one of the PICMONICs as one of the important points to remember, in the actual picture, you're going to see fever beaver every single time for fever. Another example would be like for hypertension, the character was the hiker BP. So these repeating characters come back up, which I think is another thing that's really helpful for remembering things. So the way each PICMONIC is kind of set up is, like I said, it'll focus on one topic. It'll just be a few minutes long of a video, and there's 2 different modes of how you can study the PICMONIC. They have educational mode, where it's kind of just like more lecture style, and they have story mode, where they turn all that material into an actual like more mythical story and present it that way. And the visual itself doesn't change between the 2 modes, so you can easily like listen to both and see which modes you kind of like listening to the PICMONICs better in, or you can always listen to both to kind of like really solidify information. After the end of each PICMONIC video, there is a little quiz that you can use to test yourself, so I really like that as well. Another feature I really like about PICMONIC is they have kind of different ways you can go about looking up the information to actually find the PICMONICs. So they just have a general like content library in which they kind of break all the PICMONICs into general sections, like med-surg, pharmacology, things of that nature. However, they also have a section where it's sorted by books. So you can actually click into this book section and it's gonna pop up a ton of your most common nursing textbooks. And once you click into each textbook, what it's gonna do is break it down by every single chapter of that book, and it's gonna have listed in there whatever PICMONICs are related to information that was covered in that chapter. This I think is very helpful because then, for example, as you're going along in your classes, learning new things, after you cover chapters for a class or for a lecture, you can then go back to PICMONIC and specifically watch all the PICMONICs that are related to that chapter as you go without actually having to do a lot of searching or digging to find where those PICMONICs are. It's already laid out like that for you perfectly. In the nursing focus one, they do also have an NCLEX, HESI, and ATI section where you can see it broken down by topics that are probably going to be covered on those as well. And of course, you could just do a general search and anything related to what you type into that search bar is going to pop up to make it very easy to search for videos as well. Some other features of PICMONIC I wanted to mention is that you can create your own playlist of PICMONIC specific to you. So kind of how they have playlists catered to different books or playlists catered for the HESI exam, this and that. You can create your very own playlist based on what you're studying in your classes as well. They do also have offline and gym modes, which offline is kind of explanatory. Gym mode is just like an autoplay mode where it will just automatically play through a whole playlist, so you could just passively listen to your PICMONICs and do passive studying as you're doing other tasks as well. And you can actually create your very own PICMONICs. PICMONIC does have a customize and create option where you can create a completely new one. You can add facts onto other existing ones and really just customize it to however you like. PICMONIC's little slogan is remember more in less time and boost your test scores with PICMONIC, the world's best visual mnemonic learning resource and study aid for medical school, nursing school, and more. So PICMONIC did actually start being aimed towards medical students because the people who founded PICMONIC were medical students. So at first it was geared towards more medical students, and there was actually a study published in 2014 around the use of PICMONIC titled The PICMONIC Learning System, Enhancing Memory Retention of Medical Sciences Using an Audiovisual Web-Based Learning Platform. And in this study, they did find that medical students increased their long-term memory retention by 331% and improved their test scores by 50% after using the PICMONIC study tool. Since its creation, PICMONIC has now expanded to cater to not only medical students, but also nursing students, physical therapy students, physician assistant students, pharmacy students, nurse practitioner students, occupational therapy students, pre-health students, pretty much anything you can think of, PICMONIC has something for you and can really be catered to you as well. Honestly, I just think PICMONIC is an amazing app, and like I said, I don't really hear people talking about it that much. Hopefully, if this is something new that you are learning, you think it might be helpful to you and you might want to try it out. Now, PICMONIC does have a free version, but you really can't get much out of the free version, so you kind of have to pay for a membership. And they do offer a 7-day free trial, so if you want to check out PICMONIC, definitely start with the trial and see if it's something you would like. That way, no strings attached for you. If you do end up wanting to purchase the premium packages, they have 3 different options. The first option is a yearly charge, which is $79.99, which obviously is going to break down to the lowest per month at $666 a month. The next option is semesterly, which is $59.99, which is going to break down to $9.99 a month, or you can just pay monthly for $15.99 a month. PICMONIC does offer a referral link for anybody who has used it, so I do have a referral link that I will leave in the description box below for you guys. However, I'm not like a PICMONIC affiliate or nothing like that. It's just like a link that they offer to everyone through the app who uses it. So I'm not sure how much money it like actually saves you, any of that. But if you're interested, definitely check that out so you can save at least a little bit. If anyone does end up using this code, will you either let me know in a comment or send me a message what the discount like actually is, like what's the percentage or how much money off or whatever. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about PICMONIC. I kind of rambled about this one, but I'm telling you guys, this is a really amazing app. So there you go. All right, now moving on to app number 3 on our list, and that is GoodNotes. So back right before I was starting nursing school at UNLV, I accidentally spilled nail polish remover on my laptop one day, and needless to say, my laptop was no longer working. At the time, I didn't really have money to put towards getting a brand new Apple laptop, so I decided for school that I wanted to get an iPad instead, because I could get one for $300, and I had actually been watching a lot of YouTube videos and talking to other nursing students who said that they actually preferred to use an iPad throughout nursing school versus their laptop. So at this point, I decided, okay, I'm gonna switch over to using an iPad for school, and therefore I'm gonna switch over to doing all my notes digitally. So I started researching to figure out what digital note-taking app I wanted to use. Keep in mind, this was years ago, so these apps have had many updates and new features added to them, I am sure. At the time when I was researching, I got it narrowed down to between GoodNotes and Notability, and at that time there weren't really much differences between the features of the app from what I can remember. And so honestly, I can't even tell you why I ended up going with GoodNotes, but what I can tell you is GoodNotes worked amazing for me throughout my whole college experience. In general, I don't really think all these different note-taking apps have too many of different advantages over the other. I really think it's kind of more personal preference on what you like best. So whether you want to use GoodNotes or a different note-taking app, I would just kind of say in general, think about using these note-taking apps to your advantage. They offer a lot of features and they really kind of streamline your note-taking process to have everything concise and in one area. One thing I especially love about digital note-taking is the search capability. You can easily search throughout all your documents of all your notes that you've taken, whether that's actual text that's been typed onto a computer, or technology is so amazing nowadays, you can search and it scans your handwriting that you've done in your notes as well. So even if you've handwritten something, if you type in the search that word, it's gonna show you everywhere in all of your notes that that word pops up. And that's just something I think is so amazing that you really can't do without digital notes. Another thing I really liked about using GoodNotes for my nursing school experience is it really makes it easy to add all these other things into your notes to really enhance them. So if you want to add visuals, it's so easy to do a Google search and boom, pop that into your notes. And in general, doing digital notes, I feel like is just such a time saver. You can download the PDFs of notes that your professors give you right into your GoodNotes and write right over them versus printing stuff out and writing on top of it. Like, it's just amazing. I really truly would recommend GoodNotes as an amazing note-taking app, but like I said, I really think any of those note-taking apps out there that you hear about will serve you beautifully. So I would just recommend to kind of do your research on which note-taking app you think you would like best for you. Okay, you guys, last but certainly not least, number 4 on my list of apps is Nursing Central. You guys, Nursing Central may have just been my holy grail of nursing school. This app is like an all-in-one searchable database that combines a bunch of different resource textbooks and brings it to you right at your fingertips, easily searchable. Luckily, my school actually purchased this app for all of us nursing students, so we didn't have to pay for it. And once you purchase it, you just kind of have rights to the app forever. So I still have Nursing Central on my iPad, on my phone, and it is something that's very easy to pull out and reference back to. However, even if you can't get it for free through your school, I would still highly recommend this app. I'm telling you, I use this app for like every assignment I had to do, every care plan, every paper. I was using this app. And even after you are done with nursing school, once you're a nurse on the floor, this app makes it so easy to like quickly pull out your phone and you can look up little information that you may need like in real time out on the floor versus, you know, you're not going to be carrying all these reference books around with you to work or leaving them in your locker. You have it all now right in your phone. I looked it up in the App Store and the price is $179.99. Now I know that is very, very expensive, but let me tell you guys, I really do think it's worth it. And once again, I'm not affiliated with Nursing Central at all, so this is just purely my own opinion. But let me tell you why it's worth it. So when you go into Nursing Central, this app includes a bunch of different resource books within it that when you go and search, it searches across all those books, okay? So let me tell you what books are in this Nursing Central. We've got Davis's Drug Guide. We've got Tabor's Medical Dictionary. We've got Davis's Lab and Diagnostic Tests. We've got Diseases and Disorders, a Nursing Therapeutics Manual. We've got Davis's Nurse's Pocket Guide, Diagnoses, Interventions, and Rationales. All of these books are all within that app. And I looked on Amazon for the prices of all these books, and when I added up the total, if you wanted to buy all these books for new right now, it would cost $226.12 for those books. So you can already see that the app is worth it because you're getting access to all the information from those books for less money. But not only that, the app gets updated. So once you buy the app once, they're gonna keep updating the app to new editions of the book as those new editions come out, versus if you wanted a new edition of a book that you bought, you just have to go and buy that new edition. So this value is really worth it if you think about it. Now I want to just show you how amazing this app is. Okay, so let's open it up and do a quick search. This is how it looks when I open it up on my iPad. So we're just gonna search. Let's just search for acetaminophen. And as you can see, you can do either index search or full text search. So index search is just gonna pull up like any results that are listed in the index for any of those books across the app. So as you can see here, right next to the result, it's gonna show you what book it's pulling from. So the top one, acetaminophen, is from Tabor. So if we click that one, that's just gonna be like the definition for acetaminophen. Then we can go back and click into acetaminophen for the drug guide, and you can see all this information for the drug guide. And let me tell you, searching for medications on this app was extremely helpful because this app has so much information. It has, when you go into the drug guide, it's going to tell you general information, indications, action, pharmacokinetics, contraindications and precautions, adverse reactions and side effects, interactions, route and dosage, availability, assessment, potential diagnoses, implementation, IV administration, patient-family teaching, and evaluation and desired outcomes. So everything, okay? But I mean, you pretty much get the point. You can see right here all the other search results that are going to pop up for acetaminophen that aren't in the index of different books. Then you can toggle over to this other one where it says full text search, and that's just going to pull up results of acetaminophen that's written anywhere on any of these pages versus just like index of the book. So you can probably see why this was an app that was like my holy grail, used all the time for school. I mean, it's very, very helpful when you're doing assignments, especially when you're doing like your care plans. We had to reference like everything and have resources for everything in our care plan. So this makes it so easy to just search for what you're looking for. You have the resources here, you know they are reliable resources. It really just streamlines your process. Some other little features of this app that I did want to mention is they do also have different calculators, so like clinical calculators, for example, like APGAR scores or stuff like that, where you're trying to calculate a score for something. They have conversion calculators, dosage calculators, and like IV medication calculators, like drip rate, drop factor, stuff like that. So yeah, that app right there, Nursing Central. I don't know if I would have made it through nursing school without it. Just kidding, but like, no, seriously, like it was very vital in my nursing school journey. So we definitely saved the best for last in this video. But all right, you guys, we have come to the end of another video. I hope that this video was very helpful for you, that you learned something new that you can take with you on your learning journey and implement to help you out. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. And make sure to subscribe so you can come back and watch more videos from me. If you have any apps that you have found helpful in your nursing school journey so far that you'd like to share with others, please definitely leave that in a comment below as well so we can share all the knowledge. Lastly, I just want to say thank you all for tuning into this video with me today. I really appreciate each and every one of your support. I really, truly do. And I hope to see you back very soon in another video. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye, guys.